Hey guys, welcome back to the coop. If you've been keeping chickens very long at all, you've probably dealt with one of these 5 frustrating problems. Number 1, dirty, poopy eggs. Number 2, hens that have decided they want to taste test their own eggs. Hence, egg eaters. Number 3, predators. Snakes, raccoons, possums, egg thieves. Number 4, broody hens. And number 5, hidden eggs. Well, guess what, guys? I've got a solution for all 5, and we're going to talk about it today. Let's talk about number 1 on the list. Nobody wants dirty, poopy eggs on their kitchen counter. None of us do. If you have backyard chickens, you run into this problem a lot, especially in wet weather, in the change of seasons. We're going into fall, into the winter months, and we know that sometimes that gets really wet and messy. And then those that live in really cold climates, you've got the snow, the melting snow. And so the hens are just constantly tracking mud and dirt and poop in on the nest. And this just creates a problem. We've been taught not to wash our eggs because this kind of destroys and breaks down that protective bloom that the chicken naturally lays on the egg to keep bacteria out. So we don't really want to wash our eggs, but there again, we don't want dirty eggs sitting on our kitchen counter either. Not only that, when hens are tracking in and out of the nest, not only are they tracking that mud and that poop and so on and so forth, they can crack those eggs. And a lot of times they get hairline fractures that we're not able to see with our naked eye. And you guys that have watched some of my past videos, I have a few out about proper egg handling. And you also know that I candle all my eating eggs before I consume them, meaning that I put a light to them. I'm checking for hairline fractures and cracks, and any of those that I find, I call immediately. Simply because bacteria can enter into those cracks, and we don't want that. We don't want to risk that contamination and making us sick. So it's important to try to figure out a way to keep the hens off the eggs. Number 1, because they're tracking and, messing up the eggs, making them dirty, poopy, etc. And they also, when they're trampling and they're all fighting to get into that one nest box, because we all know that's what they like to do, they're rustling those eggs together and they'll acquire cracks a lot of times, which again contaminates the egg. Let's talk about problem number 2, which is the hens that like to eat their eggs. There's many reasons that hens venture into eating their eggs. Sometimes it's just plainly out of boredom. You'll see them peck around at different things on the ground, and they'll kind of do it in a playful manner. And sometimes they do that with their eggs, or sometimes they fight over the eggs because, again, they're community nesters and they all like to pile up into one nest box. And sometimes you actually see one hen try to steal the eggs out from under the other hen. And in that rolling and tossing the egg back and forth, they can accidentally break that egg. And if that ever happens, they love the contents of their eggs. And not only will they just eat the innards of the eggs, they love the shells as well. So if they ever figure this out, a lot of times they will eat the eggs purposely for just consuming the egg. Sometimes it's a lack of protein or calcium, either or, and it's just a little deficiency in their diet. But for whatever the reason, if you've ever experienced or been frustrated with hens eating their eggs, it's an endless cycle. It's very hard to break. There's tips and tricks out there that you can try, but once you get, it seems, in my experience, it seems like once you get one hen broke from it, it's not long and another hen has picked it up, especially if you have as many laying hens as I do. I usually keep around 45 to 50 head of chickens, most of them being hens, of course. And over the years of me raising chickens, I mean, it's just, like I say, you're going to run into that problem from time to time, and it's very frustrating. It's very aggravating. You come out here to collect your eggs and they've ate them. Usually you'll see residue of egg yolk on another egg is how you know that they've probably consumed one of their eggs, or there'll be evidence inside the nest box itself, whether you can see that fresh wetness of the yolk inside the nest box, whether you're using bedding, straw, hay, whatever it may be. But there's telltale signs if you've got an egg eater, majority of the time. Now, possums and coons can sometimes come in and they will also eat the eggs, but a lot of times they will not consume the shell. If a chicken consumes an egg, they're going to eat the egg in its entirety. They're going to eat the contents and the shell itself. But if any of you out there are battling with that problem currently, or have in the past, or you haven't yet, you probably will, just know that that is something that happens with chickens, and that is a common problem in the coop. Moving on to number 3, predators. I just mentioned that raccoons and possums, they love to get in your chicken coop. They love to eat your eggs. There's a huge, I'm not going to get into the argument, and I'm not going to get into the debate. Some people say that possums and raccoons will eat your chicken. Some people say no, they won't. Like I said, do your own homework on that. I'm not going to share my thoughts on that. I don't want this to be a controversial topic. Just know that at the very least, they will consume your chicken eggs. Not only that, snakes will as well. And in certain parts of the United States, people have trouble with weasels. We have fox here. We don't deal with weasels. But here where we're located, these are our contenders. We have possums, raccoons, snakes. We have hawks. We have owls. Those are more predators of the chickens themselves, but they have been known to eat eggs as well. Fox, again, the fox are usually after the chickens. But these are all predators that can definitely visit your coop if you're raising chickens. So again, that's another common problem in your chicken coop. Number 4 on the list was broody hens. If you know, you know. This is a constant. If you ever get a hen that goes broody, you got your hands full. That's all I can say about that. I've had tons and tons of experience with broody hens, and most of the time I give up the fight and just give them the eggs and let them hatch them for me, because I like doing that natural. Y'all cut it out. It's really late in the afternoon and it's getting time for them to go to roost, and I've come in here and kind of messed them up. And as you guys know that have chickens, the roosters like to go make their rounds with the hens, and then the hens go fly up on the roost and everybody goes to bed, and I have thoroughly disrupted that. So that's all the ruckus in the background. But anyway, back to the broody hens. They are very hard to break. You have to constantly take the eggs out from under them, and even yet and still, sometimes this does not break a very determined broody hen. For those of you that are brand new, a broody hen is a hen that is trying to set on eggs. She wants to hatch some babies, and she's very protective over those eggs. She doesn't want any of the other hens in the nest box. She kind of just takes over and, you know, takes up resident on that nest box, and she refuses to leave. This can be a problem if you're not wanting that hen to hatch eggs. And like I say, it can be a task to get them to break that cycle once one goes broody. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of in and out of the coop many times a day to finally break her, if you succeed at all. But anyway, that's number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list of common problems in the coop that we've all dealt with at some point is hidden eggs. Now, this is especially true if you have hens that free range or have a bigger open area, and then they come into the coop. They're supposed to come into the coop to lay the eggs, and in a dream world, you know, that would be awesome. But even in the area that I have mine are totally confined. but it's a very big area. Any of y'all that have watched my past videos, you know that I have very stubborn hens when it comes to getting them to lay where I want them to. I've tried all kinds of nest boxes and without success of getting them to use them like I want. They usually just lay wherever they so desire, and sometimes they like to tuck them in places that they're not easily seen. And so for those of you that have to go on an egg hunt every day, my heart goes out to you. But that is yet another problem, especially with free-range chickens. So you ask how I can have a remedy to all 5 of those common problems in the coop. Let me show you. So let me introduce you guys to my new best friend. This is the Hen Gear Rollout Nest Box. This is a 48-inch. They come in various different sizes depending on your need or how many hens that you have. Problem number 1, which was dirty, poopy eggs. See this cool little mat in here? It's made out of plastic. This is completely removable. So let's say that they track in some mud, it's a rainy day, or they poop in here while they're laying their egg. It's a quick fix. Just take this bad boy out, spray it off with the water hose, pop it back in. You will also notice chickens will be chickens. They tote stuff into the nest box. That's just Mother Nature. They're trying to nest. So you'll get debris, some debris in there that the chickens tote in there. You can blow it out with the air hose, or like I say, just, spray it off with the water hose. And it's recommended that you spray it off anyway, once every 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to try to talk over. What are you fussing about? So they go inside the nest box to lay their eggs. Once they lay their eggs, the egg then rolls to the back in this trough on the back side. Now, let me pause there and state 2 things. You can assemble this nest box in 2 ways. With the collection tray in the back, in the rear of the box, or you can mount it in the front of the box. I chose the back because we are in training mode right now. I have this, we'll get into that in a minute, but I have this sitting on the ground right now for training purposes. Our intentions is to raise it up and put it here. We're going to have to do a little carpentry work there and get it off the ground once we get all the hens converted over and trained on the hen gear. Just know that you have the option, depending on your coop setup, to collect from the back, or you can mount this tray to the front. Whatever is more convenient for you in your setup. So the egg rolls to this back trough. It has a predator-proof latch. And voila. All your eggs are back here nice and clean. Let me say that again. All your eggs are back here nice and clean. No poop, no mud. No way for the hens to get to them to trample and crack and break, or eat. So problem 1 and 2 solved right there. Problem 1, no more dirty eggs. Problem 2, the hens can't get to the eggs to eat them. Now, moving to number 3, I said predator-proof latch. This is a heavy lid. That's another thing that I want to say about this hen gear nest box. This is not no flimsy metal. This is some sturdy stuff. I'm not sure what gauge this metal is, but this is some stout, heavy-duty stuff. This lid is heavy enough, even without the latch, it would be very doubtful in my mind that any type of predator could get in here to the eggs. But like I say, it does have the latches for another layer of protection. Now let's talk about number 4, broody hens. For obvious reasons, they can't sit on eggs that they can't get to. Because again, once they lay and drop that egg, it rolls to the back and they can't get to it. So no more broody hens in the nest box. And problem number 5, hidden eggs. Well, guess what? Once you get them all trained to use this nifty, amazing, life-changing nest box, you won't have any more hidden eggs. They'll be all conveniently located right here. This roost bar, here's another ingenious feature of this hen gear nest box. This roost bar raises. So at night, you can raise the roost bar, which prevents the chickens from entering in the nest box to roost and sleep, and so no pooping during the night. In the mornings, you can let the roost bar down. They also offer an automatic roost bar mechanism that raises and lowers the roost bar mechanically. They also use the color red. It's been proven that chickens are attracted to the color red. These curtains are the privacy curtains. Right now I have a magnet holding 2 of mine up. There's another one that folds down right there. You can see it magnetized to the top. Because again, I am still in training mode with my hens. As you can see, a lot of them have converted over. But I still have a few hard heads that I'm battling with every day. I did another video where I kind of go through how I was training and what I was doing inside the coop daily to take care of that problem. You guys can check that video out. I'll link it here at the end screen and also in the description. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because like I say, I cannot explain how much this nest box has helped me out with raising chickens. Number one, I can't believe that it's taken me this long to find this product, but it has really, like I said, been a total game changer for me. I was at a point where I was frustrated every day when I came into the coop. If you guys have been following along in some of my videos, you know that I had hens that were eating eggs, that I was trying desperately to find out which hens out of the 45 to 50 head that I have here, which ones were eating the eggs. I was trying to separate those out. I was trying to break that habit by different tips and tricks. It's kind of time consuming and that may or may not work. I also was battling snakes. I have a couple videos out. We actually relocated 2 of the snakes that we got out of here. I guess we just have a whole family of what we call here oak snakes, same as the rat snake. Like I said, I think we had a whole family of them, and I was constantly coming out here and seeing the snake, and to start with, I didn't really mind it. I was like, how many eggs can one snake possibly eat? But I was dealing with way more than one snake, and I sat there and actually filmed. I can try to put a little footage in here. I done it in short format, but I'll see if I can get that clip. But I did not realize that snakes, and I've seen them consume eggs both ways, where they stay solid in the stomach for an extended period of time because you can see the body of the snake and you can see the shape of the eggs in the snake. But this particular snake that I filmed, he got one finally down into his throat and into his body. And as soon as he did, he constricted and just crushed that egg. So then he went for another egg. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now. I can share 1 or 2 eggs, but I'm not fixing to let you take the whole nest of eggs. So needless to say, he had to go. We relocated him. We relocated another oak snake we had. We took him way down the dirt road here and released them. You got it. I'm trying to get him up close so he can stretch his neck out. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, mission accomplished. I got chill bumps.
Yeah, they're doing. Hey, touch him.
They give me the heebie-jeebies. I've had possums. I've had a few other problems and with predators inside the coop. And like I say, again, this hen gear nest box solves all that. And not only that, because I had such stubborn hens and they were determined not to lay in any nest box whatsoever, I kept dirty eggs. I mean, they would be filthy, especially if it was raining and there was muddy, and you know, they would just they would be covered in mud and poop. And it was just a constant battle. I was having to wash the eggs, refrigerate them because I had washed them, and I prefer leaving them out on the counter in that natural bloom. But I was not able to do that because they were so nasty, and it was frustrating. So not only that, to me, the biggest benefit of all has been the clean eggs. That's just amazed me. I've never been able to come out here to the coop and get fresh, clean eggs, and I'm able to do that now every day. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been a uphill battle in training my hens to use this nest box. But again, it's because I gave up a long time ago and I just let them just lay eggs where they wanted to lay them. And I didn't have any structure to their laying habits, and that was my fault. But if you have a tighter space that you're working with, I'm sure it's not going to be near as hard for a lot of people as it has been for me in training them. But like I said, you can check out that other video. I kind of tell you and show you, and I bring you out here with the camera and I explain, you know, what I'm doing on a daily basis to get them pushed over to the hen gear. And I have got majority of them converted over now, thank goodness. But it has been a work in progress. But like I say, if you have hens that are already nesting in a specific spot, it's going to be a piece of cake for you. Because all you're going to do in the first few days of introducing, the hen gear nest box, you're going, sorry, maybe y'all can hear me over her. Like I said, I have tremendously upset them because it's almost dark. I'm losing my light too. But I was trying to do this after work real quick. But you'll just place that hen gear nest box wherever they've normally been laying. Whether it be on the ground, and then you gradually start raising it up. Whether it, you know, like you could put some center blocks up under it to raise it up gradually until you get it. And then if you want to mount it, there's tons of videos out there too, guys, on different setups. Some people set them up on a hay bale or a straw bale. Some people mount them and put them through the wall. They cut out a space in the wall. But you can check that out and see what works for you and what's the most practical in your coop setup. Again, we have intentions of getting it up off the ground, but I'm still in the training stage right now. But because they're not going to let me talk anymore, I will wrap this up. But I hope this video has helped you guys out, and you can relate to some of those problems. And hopefully none of you have dealt with all of those problems, especially at one time in the coop. I'm sure that you have one or two here and there. A lot of times they're problems that kind of come and go. It's raining chickens. Do yourself a favor and at least check out the hen gear nest box. It'll be linked up top here, and I also drop it down below in the description. Be sure to use Blue Dog 20 at checkout if you decide to purchase one. That will get you $20 off your order. I can't speak any more highly than I am right now about the hen gear nest box. I'm absolutely in love with them. I wish I would have found it much earlier. It's a game changer. I hope you guys check them out. Till next time, guys, y'all take care. Thanks for watching.